Welcome to iOS Insights, the channel for iOS app development using SwiftUI and Swift. In this tutorial, we will create a line graph to show the product purchases over time. The graph is populated using JSON data, and here is the graph as displayed on the screen. It has data points. Clicking on a data point shows the price that relates to that data point. For example, that's 2000, and the 2000 is just a little bit underneath the 2080, and this is 4000, and that's a little bit underneath the 4160, and this product is 2500, and this is the cheapest product this is the cheapest product price, which is 550. It's just a little bit below the 1000. So this is the application that we are creating in this tutorial using SwiftUI. The first thing we need to do is to create our JSON array of objects. So this is the JSON array of objects. It includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 objects, and each of the objects includes one key value or attribute. This is the key, which is order count, and this is the value, 2000, and this is the other object instance, order count, and that's the key for it, 4000. So the order count attribute is like the price, or you can name it anything really. So that's the first thing we need to create, and to create that you just hold down the control key and then left click on the mouse, select new file, and then scroll down to, I think it's blank file or empty file. Select empty file, and then just click on next, and then you just give it the name customer orders. So I just do one here, but I'll call it a different name because I don't want to replace the original customer orders file. So I just call it abc.json. Click on create. As you can see, it created an empty file. So this empty file, abc.json, should have the actual JSON payload. So this is the JSON payload that you include within your customer orders.json file. I'll just delete the ABC file now because we're not using that one. Move to trash. So this is the information that you need to enter within your customer orders.json file, and you can also see it here on the right hand pane, the far right. This is the file, custom orders.json. Having created our customer orders.json file, the next thing we need to do is create our data manager class. And the purpose of the data manager class is to retrieve the JSON payload and populate the graph later. So to create the data manager class, hold down the control key and then right click on the mouse button, left click on the mouse button and select new file. Select Swift file, click next, give the file name the name of data manager and this is also the name of the class as well. So I'll just copy it, click on create, and then import SwiftUI. Next thing we need to do is to create our codable struct. So the name of the struct will be called product, because we'll be retrieving a list of products. Codable and equatable. And then the key that we're retrieving is order count, which is this key here, order count. So that property or attribute needs to be in the product struct. So we just type in let order count, which is an int, and then now we create our actual class, our data manager class. Public class data manager. And then the data manager class will have one property, one function. Let's use a function. It will have one function which is a static function. So just type in static func read JSON data. That will return an array of products. Var loaded products product equals open bracket close bracket. So what that does, it creates a product variable called loaded products that will include an array of objects of type product. If let file URL equals to bundle main.url for resource customer orders. So we're getting the actual data from the customer orders JSON file with the extension JSON. And here on line 21 we're doing safe unwrapping. So if the file exists, then it will do this code block section that we're going to create now, else it will display an error message in the catch block. So now we just have to do the do block to capture any errors as well, and then the catch block is afterwards, and we just type in a little message to display any errors that was captured. Error loading JSON data, and then display the error that happened. And then within the do block we will try to execute the instructions. So just type in let data equals try data contents of file URL. What that does, it reads the data from the file. So it's passing the file URL, which is this, customer orders.json, which is located here or here. As in here, this is where it's located. So it's passing that location to the data constructor, and then if it exists, it puts the return values, which is the data payload, into the data variable, which is an array. Next thing we need to do is to create a decoder. So just type in let decoder equals JSON decoder. Loaded products equals try decode. A decoder, spelled it wrong, there shouldn't be no R there. Decoder decodes. And then we assign the product codable struct, and type in self, because we're retrieving an array from data. So what that line does, it passes the JSON data into an array of product objects. And then the next thing we need to do is to return the JSON payload to the caller or to the function that's waiting. So on line 30, just type in return loaded products. Let's compile it now, just to make sure that it compiles. Just compiling at the moment. It compiles. So the next thing we need to do is to create our view model. And the purpose of the view model will be to fetch the products. So to create our view model, we just create another class, hold down the control key and then left click on the mouse, click on new file, and then for the file name just enter line graph view model. Click on create, import SwiftUI, and now we create our class. So just type in class line graph view model observable object. And the purpose of the observable object is to enable the class to observe all the attributes and functions of any changes that has happened, and then if any changes has happened in the attributes or functions, then we use a publish object to publish the changes to the user interface, the GUI. So this is how we do it. Just type in publish var products, and then just type in product, which is an array of products. The next thing we need to do is to create an initializer. So as soon as we create an instance of the line graph view model, the initializer will then be called, and then call the actual function within that initializer. So let's create that function now. Func fetch products equals data manager dot read JSON data, and then within the initializer, the init method, we just call fetch products. So as soon as this instance is created, line graph view model, this will be called, and then calling this calls this, and then because we call the fetch products function, that means the read JSON data function within the data manager class is called, and then all the data is then assigned to the products publish variable that includes an array of products. So let's compile it just to make sure that it compiles. It compiles. So yeah, next week we'll be doing the line graph view. Thank you for joining us. If you found this tutorial helpful, please comment, like and subscribe. See you next week.